Hey everybody, welcome back to Entropia Universe. Got some new and exciting content on Cyrene today. Man, I managed to survive yesterday. What an ordeal that was. I don't know, it's like work actually didn't go that bad, but when I came back to move my uncle, I kind of really got burnt out. And man, I'm still feeling it today. I'm almost feeling like I'm hungover. I don't know what's going on. I managed to, yesterday while you guys were gone, or while I was gone, depending how you want to look at it, I came and landed on Cyrene, and I landed on this big airship that's floating in the air. So I'm trying to find the teleporter here. Probably should have just flew there. No, to be honest, I was aching so bad, I'm starting to use the vaporizer again, but I'm figuring hopefully I can just manage to do it for the weekend and go back to sobriety on Monday. No, I couldn't believe what a difference it made. As soon as I took one vape, it's like I could start to fucking move again. I was at the point where my whole body had seized up. I really don't know what's going on these days, if it's the heat or some lingering sickness that's been going on the whole year. Praying it's just the heat. Now my family went in for the test and we finally got the results back and they came back negative. So I'm thinking either the tests were done wrong or hopefully we are. Nothing really that serious. Alright, where the hell is the freaking teleporter around here? For God's sakes! Now I promise not to say God and I keep fucking doing it. Jeez. Now thank everyone who checked out my video yesterday, helped out with a little bit of the likes and nice comments on the Amico review, the Intellivision. Yeah, a nice guy sent me a friend request and said he was going to give me some items or good deals on items to put in my shop. So I appreciate that. I hope that was that guy. To be honest, I've been swamped with stuff around the house. I haven't had a chance to confirm if I added the right person or not. Alright, I think the teleporter's around here. There it is. Now I think this was a nice change to Cyrene. I like the update of having the ship up here with the teleporter. Made it cool for landing on the planet. I don't know if it's really that much new of a change, or maybe I just didn't find it before. Right, the Supply Depot teleporter is the one I usually do all my crafting runs at, so I'll swing by there. Now today on the vape menu, got still some of that government Pure Sun Farm sativa. Man, is that shit good. Now it's nice to be able to get really hammered again. It's like last few months I've been vaporizing, I wasn't even catching much of a glow. Now it'd be nice if I heard these shops were going to be open so that people could sell stuff on Cyrene and own shops, but I'm pretty sure no one's owning any shops yet. See what it says. Yeah, so they're all still restricted. I don't know, like, what's the deal with Cyrene? Is it still in the beta test, or is it finished that? Pretty sure Two-Land's still in beta. Now let's say hi to these people, see what they're up to. Oh yeah, I wanted to check my storage and see what kind of stuff I left here. So my plan is to do a little bit of a crafting run on Cyrene, show you guys where to get the maze hammer axe thing. And what else was there? Oh yeah, there's those tokens. I don't know if you can still get the tokens or not, so I was thinking of giving it a try. I don't even see them in my inventory anymore. There was this different kind of token I had. So maybe they got rid of them. Yeah, wouldn't it be funny if I spent all the time collecting those tokens and the game just took them back? No, because the way they had the token thing set up is you could pay a little bit of sweat to enter a maze, and then this maze had a whole bunch of tokens you could pick up. Yeah, one time I came here on Christmas and I picked up these bags. I was going to mention it to some people too, like, here, maybe to start off the episode, before I get right into the action of the crafting, I just wanted to swing by the sweat area and see how busy it is. Who's this guy? I don't believe I've ever spoke to him. Alright, he's saying if I would like to give him holiday magic, he can give us a random ice sculpture, and there's 6 to collect with 2 rare ones. It says mission aborted. Let's try it again. What is going on? So if you pick abort... Oh, there we go. What the hell? Why does it keep aborting? Must be the vaporizer, I swear. That's the one thing I noticed I missed about the vaporizer. Every time I screwed up doing something, it was kind of like a crutch. I could always blame the vaporizer. Then after I was sober, I'm like, fuck, now I have no excuse. Now, I hope everyone's doing well. It's fucking hot as hell today. I either had to pick going shirtless or turn on the fan for the episode. So I hope everyone likes the decision I made. I'm pretty sure that you're still able to hear the fan. I hope it's not horrible. We'll see when I'm finished recording. This episode might even be deleted. I know, I was really surprised when I made the Amico Tommy Tellerico Amico and television video, blah blah blah. Normally Tommy's on like lightning and he always like responds to everyone's comments on YouTube, and I think I was the first video to actually silence him. Unless he signed in on other people's accounts. I know there's like a whole bunch of people that signed in or that were defending him that weren't him, or that weren't his official account. So I'm wondering if maybe he signed in on a whole bunch of different ones. I know there's a bunch of people in the chat debating stuff about different accounts, and I didn't have time to read it all. It's like, if Tommy has an official message, I guess I'll wait for it from his real account. I'm not going to respond to people pretending to be Tommy. Now, I noticed when I did the review thing about the Amico, I did forget a couple things, so I might make a part 2 to it, but we'll see what happens. I noticed a lot of silence in the Intellivision Amico community. Oh, except for on Atari Age, yeah. I ended up reading the post to see what they all were writing about me, because people were messaging me saying that they're reaming me out. And I was a little bit stressed out at the time, so I didn't want to read it right away. But I had a couple days to relax about it, read it. It wasn't that bad. Like, I do paranormal stuff all the time on the radio, so I'm used to people making fun of me, calling me crazy and all that, but I think this time was the only time that I'd ever seen in a forum that people are bashing my mental health. They're like saying, oh, this guy's fucking, he's got some mental issues, and it's like, let's laugh and make fun of him. And I'm like, really? It's like, so if someone has some mental issues, that's what the Intellivision Amico community is all about. Fucking bashing and making fun of people with mental problems. It's like, that really sounds good on their part. Alright, so this is the sweat area. If anyone's looking for the place on Cyrene to collect sweat and you're by yourself, I think this is the best place. I'm hoping there's a team spot to collect sweat on Cyrene, but I haven't really found it yet. That's what I was hoping to swing by here. Maybe I can ask a few sweaters what's the deal. Normally what happens is if you find someone selling sweat on the planet and you ask them where a good sweat circle is, usually they'll help you out with the information you need. Ugh. Now, I used to sweat these Penelians, or whatever they're called, another mob that I can't pronounce. And maybe I'll try one, see if it kills me. What is going on? I'm hoping that with my, not armor, but rings, I'll be able to withstand a decent amount of attacks from them. We'll see. I'll run over to the water and see how my health is by the time I get there. If it's really bad, I'll drown him and switch to a different mob. Now, I appreciate all the support, everyone, especially not being mean to the Intellivision community. I noticed when I got wasted and listened to the review I recorded, I was like, holy shit, was I harsh. That's the one thing I don't like about quitting weed, too, is, man, does it ever fuck me around, like I find it makes me even more cranky than normal, especially for the first few days when I quit. I know, it's hard to believe, even more than normal. Yeah, so I was thinking, yeah, if anyone's ever been like smoking weed for years or decades at a time, be careful when you quit. Like everyone's like, oh, quitting weed's the greatest. Well, there is even side effects to quitting weed. One of the worst side effects, it's like one time I would quit weed, guess what I almost did? I fucking applied to join the army. I was like, man, I quit smoking weed for the first time, I think it was like over 10 years, and I got this sudden boost of energy, like, man, I'm joining the army. You know, it's so funny, the army ghosted me. I was like, can you imagine that? It's like normally the army's like always trying to recruit people, so I think that was like one of the only times that I was happy to get ghosted. So ladies, if you're ghosting me, don't feel bad. Even the army ghosted me. And I didn't even know, but I guess I didn't know my whole life until after he had died. I thought my grandfather from Germany only worked with the brewery. But when I was going through like some storage in my grandma's basement looking for toys, I happened to find his Coast Guard ID. And when I asked her about it, she got really upset because I think he wasn't supposed to tell anyone that he was in the Coast Guard. But later on, a few Christmases later, my grandma told us a few stories about what he encountered when he was in the Coast Guard. I think there was some story, I don't know if it was about being in Germany still, but there was some starvation that occurred. And then he actually had to eat a horse one day because they had nothing left to eat. So can you imagine that? Holy. I think health-wise, I'm not doing too bad sweating this creature. So there is some other smaller creatures over there. If you don't have any rings, like just to the left of me, you'll find some creatures that are really weak. But I figure I'll sweat this one because I'm a little bit more uber of a sweater. Man, I'd like to see Raven Jade sweat something. I bet you with her rings and her cape, can you imagine what she could sweat? She could probably sweat Aatrox, no problem. Now I got some disc golf news. I'm pretty sure that dream I had about my friend in the disc golf tournament wasn't the big tournament in August, because I just got a call yesterday and there's a new tournament coming up tomorrow. I'm pretty sure he's going to be at it and there's going to be a big lunch. So I'm thinking that's the tournament that I probably had the foreseeing for. Because I was thinking that, like, if I was in the pro fucking, like, big camera tournament, there was no way I'd leave and go on lunch. So that did seem like a little bit of a weird prophecy. Now I'm pretty sure today I'm going to try to get some more work done on some of my Atlantis videos, if anyone's into that stuff. You know how I find things by accident? Well, I was working on, this guy sends me a map. He's like, some people think it's Atlantis. So I'm like, okay, checking out the map. I'm looking on the features on the map and I'm like, hey, I've recognized these features before. So I took it and I mapped it to somewhere on the globe. I'm like, holy shit, yeah, this does look like Atlantis. So then I started posting and telling everyone. And they're like, hey, you didn't really read the description properly. And I'm like, why? And then the same thing before, you know how I fucking miss a few things when I'm reading shit? Well, this happened when I posted the Atlantis stuff. And I found out when the guy was giving the picture with Atlantis, I skipped the part that said that it was supposed to be somewhere else. So that's always kind of weird. Like when I was placing it, I'm like, how come everyone's not talking about this? It fits here so perfectly. And then I found out why. It's because everyone thought it was somewhere else. It was like way off from where everyone else thought it was. So I don't know, when I posted what I thought it was, a whole bunch of people agreed with me. Like, I don't know, like I've posted work about Ancient Mysteries and Atlantis online before. Never have I gotten that kind of response where so many people shared, liked, and agreed with it. It's kind of really scary because I'm so used to just my Atlantis theories getting thrown in the trash. Man, I would really like if maybe Entropia did that. Imagine they put like an ancient mystery planet. Holy shit, like if I ever got a popular YouTube channel and enough money to fucking move out of my mom's basement, instead of doing that, I would just fucking sink it into Entropia and buy a planet. Imagine buying a planet and I could soup it up with ancient mysteries. I'd have all the Egypt shit, all the Magi stuff. Man, would that be sick. Then I could go to that planet all the time and talk about ancient mysteries and be like, hey, this is Entropia content. Don't give me a hard time. Not that anyone gives me a hard time, but going off on tangents and other material, except for when it's super offensive. I'm going to try to refrain from that. Oh, man. Thank God for this vaporizer. Like, I was almost borderline thinking of going to the hospital. Then one vaporizer hit, I was like, holy shit, I don't need the hospital. I'm good to go. Now, if anyone wants the details, it wasn't actually just my body aching, but my fucking digestive system started acting up a little bit. And it's like, I don't know, like I've had bad digestive problems my whole life, but this was borderline the worst I've ever had. So I was like, holy shit, could be hospital time. I won't get into any more details, but it involved the washroom, just to say the least. We'll leave it at that. I'm sure everyone's like, holy fuck, quit talking about this. I was thinking the other thing it could be was I was checking on Google, like, what are the causes? Sometimes if you eat something really rotten and you get food poisoning, what I had happen could happen. So I'm hoping that's all it is. Because to be honest, I was eating rotten food. Now technically, like, sauerkraut and other fermented foods are like fermenting. But I had this one jar that was like borderline fermenting but actually rotting. And then I tasted it, I'm like, oh, it tastes rotten. And then I was like, buddy, I could still taste a little of the sauerkraut, and I fucking love sauerkraut. So I'm like, I'll just chance it. I shouldn't have done that. And I grew up in a household where we usually ate like a lot of like expired food, always almost rotten. So my stomach has like developed a certain amount of tolerance to it, but not every time. Now, I think in my whole life I maybe had food poisoning once or twice. This being the second time. If that's what it is, I'm hoping. No, as soon as I took a hit from the vaporizer, it's like all of a sudden the pain and agony I was getting just like cut by like 90%. And I could start freely moving again. I'm almost thinking of exercising. Before I took it, I was like, holy shit, I need to go to the hospital. So it is kind of the lesser of two evils. Fucking hospital's evil. Now, I don't want to make fun of the hospital too much because a lot of my friends work there. Even on the admission, well, that whole world situation we had, one of them took it really hard and the other didn't. The whole one already had, well, I won't even get into it. It's too private. No, I do have limits. Thank God. Maybe sound hard to believe. You have limits? No, I hope everyone watched the Intellivision Amico review. Like, even if you're not into the Intellivision, I was watching it again and I'm like, it's actually not that bad of a review. I was thinking that's probably why it got a whole bunch of views. Terrified that it still might get my channel taken down, but no, I like Tommy so much, I was like, shit, man. If I had to put my head in a guillotine to try to save Tommy, I'd probably do it. So, losing my channel isn't the end of the world. If maybe it can help save his financial situation. Well, I don't know if Tommy comes from like a really, really wealthy family. I heard one of his uncles is one of the band members in, I think, what is it, Aerosmith or something like that. So he's definitely not like hurting, that's for sure. But you never know, some people go on spending sprees. And if I had to guess Tommy's personality, the way he drives around in sports cars and Porsches, that fucking lifestyle probably burns through money like crazy. I know that's one of the edges I had in life, was just at one point saying, okay, I'm just cutting cars out of my entire life. I'm not driving, I'm not gonna get a license, not buying cars, no insurance, nothing. Because I got so far in credit card debt, I was like, shit, if I keep trying to drive, there's no way I'm ever gonna recover. So I can imagine like just driving shitbox cars compared to a Porsche. Fucking Porsche must be goddamn expensive. Sorry. No, it's hard to break a habit, man. Alright, I'm just going to quick change to the fire scene for a sec to give you guys an update on some new habits I'm trying to make. Now I'm just changing to the fire scene because I want to make sure that you guys don't run into pictures of boobs. Not that you'd care, but YouTube. I have no idea how they got there. It's this freaking virus on my computer, I swear. Can you tell when I'm lying? Oh. Alright, so yeah, I've been getting some decent progress. I'm back down to almost the 180 mark, which I'm fucking surprised, but I think what it was is I started the week eating a lot, like drinking fucking not gallons, but cartons of chocolate milk, eating tons of donuts, tons of chips, just like sitting around the computer all day, every day for months. So yeah, putting on all that extra weight and getting up to 200 really wasn't that hard to do doing that type of behavior. And you can see right now I'm still at the 25% body fat, and that's bad because hey, this screen doesn't even say it. I got this other screen, I should have taken a screenshot. It gives you your body fat and it's like it shames you so bad. It's like you're obese. It's like here's the obese level and this is you, you're way into it. And I'm like, fuck. It doesn't sugarcoat it. Alright, so yeah, I still got a ways to go on the body fat, but a lot of the other stuff wasn't too bad. I'm thinking it's because I'm really tall, so being close under 200 is actually still a good body weight. It's just my body for some reason is very built strange. Like I'm one of those people that's very barrel chested, huge and tall, but yet when my body fat to be at a healthy weight, it almost has to be around 180. I don't know what it is. I noticed that too, like people see me and they're like, holy shit, you weigh like 230 pounds, don't you? And I'll be like, 170. They're like, what the fuck, right? I think like even my bone density is good, so I don't know what's going on. Skeletal muscle mass, that's where I'm lacking a little bit. Now if anyone's wondering where to get the scales that give you these data, I got it from a scale called Renpo. I ordered off Amazon for dirt cheap, but I'm already on my second one, so I don't really recommend getting this kind, guys, so I didn't put any links to it. But who knows, they did have amazing customer service. All I did was message them, I'm like, hey guys, the fucking scale broke. And they're like, don't worry, we'll send you a new one. So they didn't even ask for the old one back, they just sent me a new one right away. And when I was reading the comments, the problem I had was it just wouldn't turn on when I changed the batteries. And apparently that's happened multiple times, so like a lot of people posted that happening. And it's weird too, the other comments people gave to it, they said that the measurements on it were way off. Like sometimes you could get off the scale, get back on, and it'll be a pound or two different. But when I went to my chiropractor, he has like a official one, like one that costs thousands of dollars that they have in their office. And I was surprised when I stood on it, the readings on it were almost identical. So I was thinking I actually have compared it to real legit ones. So yeah, if you're going to talk about accuracy and that shit, it's kind of neat. Oh yeah, and then another one of the readings it gives is it gives a visceral fat or something like that. And I've heard Joe Rogan talk about that as being like the fat in your face, like when you get really chubby faced. So I tried comparing that, like when my visceral fat changed, and yeah, holy shit, you can tell your face just changes. I'll say hi to this guy, see what he's up to. No, so I hope you guys don't mind me sharing my journey through the weight loss thing. I was thinking the more people I share it with, the more encouragement that'll be for me not to fucking fall off the wagon again. Because man, if I share it every day, then I'll be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't fucking plow back that bucket of chicken wings, right? God damn it, I love chicken wings. I realized that was one of the main killers for me, was the chicken wings, because I didn't know about the problem with those. Like, they don't even really warn you on the food labels. Like, a lot of people are like, hey, I'm gonna eat chicken to try to lose weight. It turns out farmers give chickens a certain type of antibiotic that makes them put on weight faster. And it turned out if people ate too much of that chicken, guess what they started detecting in the people? That fucking same antibiotic that makes you put on weight faster. So it's like, oh, god damn it, here I've been eating chicken this whole time, thinking it was helping me lose weight. I don't know if that's an exclusive thing to chickens, though. I wouldn't be surprised if that's every animal, right? Unless you have like farm-raised beef or something with no antibiotics. So I get it now. Like, everyone's like, oh, don't buy meat with antibiotics. I'm like, oh, now I get why. I thought it was just because they didn't want me to save money on buying penicillin. Like, I'm selling penicillin. Make sure they don't buy any meat with antibiotics. Now, this weight loss journey, I actually began, well, before my concussion. And then when I had my concussion, that's when I started getting hardcore into the actual science of it. Like, researching other people's experiences and what they learned and shit. Yeah, the guy who has the channel that was the most informative is like a super mean asshole guy. Well, it's kind of like, has a lot in common with me. No, I almost went on his show too. I'm like, we better not. Two, like, really super critical people might get a little bit over the top. But what he was criticizing was, you've probably seen him, he's that, like, everyone calls him the crazy guy that goes to the vegan festivals and he's eating huge chunks of raw meat. He looks like a caveman. He even has like a receding hairline and like the long hair skullet. Or maybe just a giant forehead and not the receding hairline thing. So I don't want to make fun of his appearance, but if someone's going to make fun of bald hair and fucking giant skulls, it should be me, because really I can relate. It's like, I'm allowed to do that. It's my people. The bald people. You know what's the weirdest? There is a bald people club that I didn't even know about. It's like, when I used to like hang out like fancy places, and I was talking to some people like, hey man, do you want to come hang out with the other bald guys? And I was like, what? It's like, there's actually a club for that? It's like, I shouldn't be telling people. Sorry. Nah, I bet you it's a pretty cool club. I should have taken the invitation. But I'm not really going like into exclusive like secret societies and all that. I used to be really into researching them, but I kind of got out of it when I got bored of it. Really, I couldn't find anything they offered that was really worth joining. Now, really, most of the best books you can get, you can just buy, right? You don't have to join any club to get them. Maybe that was what it was like in the old days before Amazon. It's like you didn't have Amazon, so you're like, had to send out some messenger pigeons to see how many books they could carry back. It's like these days, if you want to read the Zoroastrian Illuminati text, like, you can really even get into some Da Vinci stuff that you'll never hear in the news anywhere else. I found out about it from the, what is it, the World Bank whistleblower, some really nice Jewish lady that used to be in the World Bank. And then after she was out of it, she started disclosing some of the stuff going on. The different families that actually own, like, I think she said they were in the trillions. So it's like people don't really even realize that we talk about billionaires in the world, but there's apparently people that have way more than them that we're not even allowed to hear about. Which kind of makes sense, right? If you were the richest person in the world, would you advertise it to everyone? You've seen what already happens to Bill Gates and stuff. People are after him. Nah, I don't even hate on Bill Gates that much. I used Microsoft products for a long time, so he could do some pretty bad shit and I would still cut him slack. Not that I think he does bad shit. I'm very skeptical that all vaccines are good for you. And then some people take that as that I'm anti-vaccine. It's like, well, I do still get like tetanus shots and all that stuff. It's just like the new ones I'm a little bit worried about. It's It's like if anyone wants to be the first guinea pigs, you're by all means. I used to give India a hard time about their polio rates, but I heard even those have rebounded. So maybe polio vaccines are even working. I was a little skeptical of that one. Because I was like, holy shit, why does India have all these people that are fucking taking the polio vaccine yet it's still rampant? So I don't know what happened. Maybe they got better vaccines, or... That's what I was thinking. If the ultimate vaccine came out, I would probably take it. Like, who wouldn't? One that cures all disease and stuff? I'd be like, sign me up. It's just if as long as you're not fucking gaining 2 heads and not the good kinds either. Right, so I won't sweat too many more of these mobs. I just wanted to take a couple vapes. You can tell it's cheered me up a lot. My whole body feels fluid again. We are back into the extreme heat alert. And I know after you get a concussion, you're a little bit susceptible to extreme temperatures. My doctor said that was one of the last symptoms that he thinks I'm not clean of yet. Because I was telling him, no, I'm thinking maybe I got like bad iron or something in my blood because I can't seem to regulate temperatures very well anymore. And he's like, no, he thinks it's still the concussion. So then we got blood work to check, and yeah, he was right. My iron levels and everything were still good. Oh yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, so I wanted to share everyone what the roller coaster has been like. This actually isn't that accurate of a graph because I actually started my weight journey at 230, but I didn't have the scale at that point, so it wasn't really on here. And then at some points the scale broke, so I wasn't taking a lot of measurements while I was waiting for the new one to ship and arrive. And then I actually didn't even open the new one until recently, so there's like almost like 6-month gap in there or something. But anyways, it's a reasonable impression. So I was like, holy shit, when I got off the wagon for the lockdown, like a good solid week of just no junk food, it really didn't take that much to swing back. So that's how I was kind of hoping, like, to try and encourage people. I know the lockdown's been hard on everyone, so... No, the real goal that I wanted to try to meet was 179, so I still got a fucking long ways to go. Especially, like, I don't know how, like, it's all in my gut, so it's going to be hard to just isolate that. I know what it is with guys and gut weight, but holy shit, it's always the last one to go. Yeah, and the only thing that saved me from going back up to 210, I believe, or even up back to 230, is I managed to maintain my workout routine, just even though I was overeating. So that's kind of like the difference between still working out and while fucking... still, yeah, overeating and the working out. So I was thinking, dear God, can you imagine what the swing would have been like if I quit the working out too? I probably would have maxed out at the 230 again. No, and it's not healthy to do these big roller coaster rides. It's not easy on the budget with fucking buying clothes. So that's why, yeah, every time I do one of these, I don't get rid of all my clothes because I know it's probably going to be a roller coaster. A lot of people used to make fun of me in my streams because they'd be like, man, one day your clothes are super tight, the next day that you look like a clown. Or not next day, but months or whatever, but... Now I even have a few sets of clothes. It's like I can like have goal clothes. This will be like my next goal if it's fitting into this shirt. It's funny too, sometimes when you switch those goals, it's almost ridiculous. You're like, how was this tight before? Man. Yeah, like even this shirt, like at some points it gets to the point where it's so tight I can barely fit in it. And already just a week, it's like it feels baggy again. It's like, thank God. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen quite a few sweat buyers on this planet. And the reason for, I don't know what it is. This is like the paradise so far in all of Entropia for sweating. Why? Because the fucking prints almost all require sweat. So it's like anytime someone's like, oh, I'm going to try crafting stuff on this planet, they're like, they have to contact the sweat dealers. So if I was ever to give a thumbs up to the print designers of all the planets, I think Cyrene would rank close to the top. Maybe close to the tie with Rocktropia. Nah, I would give this one it. I don't think any Rocktropia prints require sweat, except for maybe the gold coin, and is that Eclipso one? Yeah, does anyone know the record for the print that requires the most sweat per click? I think there's one that requires around 50,000 sweat per click. I'll have to check into that. Maybe next episode I'll have a specialty on sweating. Now, for a second I heard my roommates running around. I thought they were going to call me. So I might have to pause for a second. But it won't really affect you guys, unless I forget to hit pause. That'll be a fucking nightmare. Now, I noticed the people in the comments on the Atari Age forum were freaked out that my mental health is on borderline fucking insane asylum. Don't worry, I am hyping up a little bit of my attitude for the YouTube streams. I don't walk around outside vaporizing non-stop. Oh yeah, I came across another funny situation. Well, funny, disturbing, depending on how you want to look at it. Now, when I was answering the comments in my chat for the other game that I do recordings for, it's called Clone Evolution. Well, I played Clone Evolution at first because it was an offer on Entropia Partners. Used to be. And it paid me shitloads of ped. I can't even remember how much. It was ridiculous. I think almost like 100 ped or something, 80, somewhere around there. So anyways, when I'm doing that tutorial video for that, like after I beat the offer, I'm like, hey, let's do a tutorial on how to complete the offer, just to see if it helps my YouTube channel at all. Boom, hit like over 10,000 views in a week, or I think a month, something like that. So it was like one of the most popular videos on my channel. And then people even started giving me money to my Patreon, so asking me to keep doing videos for it. So that's why I've been still doing it. I plan on using some of that Patreon money to invest in Entropia one day, if it ever reaches big amounts. But anyways, yeah, so what happened is when those people in the Clone Evolution do offers, some of those people aren't getting offers paid in Entropian dollars, they're getting paid in Roblox. So Roblox is that game that Tommy Tellerico and the Amico are fucking all suing. Like they're in a big lawsuit, Tommy, between Roblox owners. Because he created the oof sound, then they bought a CD that allowed them to use it for their game. And then once they used it for the game, then Tommy's suing them because he didn't get a cut of the CD sale. I think that's how it's breaking down. So I don't know how that's going to work in the courts, but we'll see. But anyways, I was a little bit warning Tommy. I'm like, man, these Roblox players are very popular. Like they have like 40 million players in the whole fucking world. It's like a huge community, even compared to World of Warcraft. So it's like I really wouldn't alienate them when you're trying to target them to sell them a video game console. But anyways, won't get too much into that. But what happened is when people are telling that they got Roblox currency, I was gonna start telling them like, yeah, I got fucking ped, and then I'm like, I can't tell them that, so I started just telling them I got Entropia dollars. I don't even type it anymore. That's how embarrassing our currency is in this game. It's like I'm ashamed to tell people the currency I get paid in. So I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit of an issue minder. I can't even tell people what the currency of the game is. I don't think they want to be paid in ped for some reason. No matter how hard you try to explain it to them. No, of course I had to pause the room because my roommate's coming in. And they're like, hey, are you yelling about ped again? Just, fuck. Alright, enough of this sweating, enough of talk of ped. Jeez. Now I was listening to some really good comedians on YouTube today. There was a bunch from Toronto. I kind of missed the days when I could go to Toronto. I guess technically I still can, but I'm a user of mass transit. Because I look after someone with chronic pneumonia, I don't really think it's the safest idea yet. So, probably going to wait till next year. Now, a lot of people have been asking me to travel up north, and I actually got a call from my real estate agent yesterday. And she was saying everyone up north is like super paranoid right now. So they're saying like don't come up north because people are probably not going to welcome you. I was like, wow, that's pretty intense, right? So I won't be taking any public trains up there anytime soon. No, it's already a real sketch situation up north in Ontario. I don't know if anyone's realized it, but since we have the Quebec border up there, there's like a lot of hostility between French and English people, which is kind of surprising. Like you don't really hear about it much, but I won't get into that. No, it doesn't come down to well, I shouldn't say it doesn't come down to fist fights. I had a few close calls. No, it came down to rock throwing. I'll leave it at that. But it wasn't me throwing the rocks, I swear. Now people are gonna be dying to hear that story. It did involve girls. No, I should say women, not girls. Jeez. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's go back to the supply depot. I better show you some of the crafting tips or everyone's going to be disappointed that I didn't show anything this episode. I'll try using one of the tricks to see if it still works. Maybe people have already figured it out. Now what it was is one time I was just, can't remember, I think I was using the explosive projectile print. Yeah, let's do a couple clicks of that here. That'll be today's video. Why? Because I'll show you why this is such a good planet to use it on. Hopefully the trick will work right away. No, I better not do that, that'll be too boring. We've already done that one. Can't decide. You ever buy more nanocubes than you're planning on using? Just to try to trick the game into thinking you're going to do a huge run? And then as soon as you hit a global or something, you just stop and trade terminal all the rest? Let's try that. I don't actually plan on using 40 ped. Or currency. Think, what was it called? I'll go into my blueprints book, see if I can find it in here. I think the blueprints books for this planet is called Arcadia for some reason, or Arc. Kind of reminds me of something Entropia would do. It's like, you want the blueprints for Arcadia? It's not the one labeled Arc. Anti-glare spray. I bet you that one uses sweat too. Ah, here it is. This one is my favorite blueprint on all of Cyrene that I've discovered so far. I'll show you why. You can see I've used it quite a bit. It's up to a 60% quality rating. I'm surprised I didn't max it out yet. I have used it quite a bit. It's not really that common of a print. Maybe 600 some odd people have had it in the game. Unless they're trading the same print to each other a whole bunch of times. Look at the ingredients. Vibrant sweat and super adhesive. Does anyone see the catch to this? So with this print, what's the deal? Sweat, yeah, that's cool. But the super adhesive. Do you recognize that material? God, I hope there's some on auction, because I don't think I even have any in storage. I'll check. I should really open that, or no. Let's pin this. So what happened was, obviously I wanted to try this, so I needed some super adhesive. And it turned out that the construction and making of super adhesive, let me check it out. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm actually forgetting part of how this even works. Can you tell? Let's try bonding liquid. Oh yeah, I can just filter it. I don't know. The bad part about concussions is I could be looking right at this and probably not see it. Oh, there it is. Thank God. I was getting worried there for a sec. I already have that. That's what I was looking for. Alright, you can see super adhesive. What's the markup on it? Pretty expensive, because people are buying it to try to do this experiment, right? Blah blah blah. Pretty expensive. Look at this, like $167. So, does anyone know where you get super adhesive? Here's the catch. Hopefully the catch still works. If it does, I'll be making ped. If someone else has already figured this out, then it's not going to work and this video is going to suck balls. Not a good way. Alright, so, let's see. Maybe I even have some in storage. Let's check. Or no, let's go to auction. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some yellow crystal at 104%. See how much I can buy. God, I love my yellow crystal. I hope no one watches this video. Please don't tell everyone, guys. And if you do, try to maintain this going as long as we can. Maybe there's a way to get yellow crystal cheap, you think? Other than paying 104? Alright, so that was about, what, 50 peds worth? Fuck, I should have really looked what I was doing. I was just like clicking randomly. Like, did I actually buy it? I hope. Did I trade terminal it when I wasn't looking? No! Alright, before I finish this trick, let's get a quick message from the sponsor. Today's show was brought to you by Crack. Crack. It'll fuck you up. Alright, I feel a little bit of suspense building in myself because I'm trying to remember how to make super adhesive. I remember it involves yellow crystal. I'm like, what was the next step? Alright, let's try the refiner tool. I think that's it, or it's crafting. Hoping it's the refine tool. Oh boy, getting nervous here. Jeez. It's like, who would have thought refining could have such an adrenaline rush? Ta-da! So I just turned something that costs 104% markup into something that's worth 150% markup. So I think 150%, well, let's see how much I can sell it on auction before I start bragging about this, right? Does that even seem hard to believe what I just did? It's like I knew it was going to be pretty good, but I wasn't thinking that good. It's like I was thinking 150, 104. That's quite a difference in markup. Or should I sell it all and do some bonding liquid prints? Yeah, let's do a couple clicks. Jeez, like how cheap am I? Fuck. Alright, how much sweat did I get? So really, you're not going to break the bank doing this trick. You're not going to be able to milk it for like thousands of ped. You can tell that I've barely used it at all. I was thinking the less I used it, maybe the more people could also try to figure it out. I want to be the only person exploiting this to make money. Because really, if you do that and maybe buy 100 peds worth, what difference is that in markup? Like an extra 50 ped? So you can use that to like cover quite a bit of adventures. Do some explosive projectile print crafting, maybe make some vehicles. That's usually what I do. Now I hope everyone appreciates this trick, and if you do, if you could help out with the Patreon or maybe even signing up for Entropia Partners or Hideout TV, the swag bucks, please. Well, let's see if I can do anything crafting wise with it. Oh yeah, oh no, that's not super adhesive. Ah, there it is. So I did still have some in storage. And I also kept some yellow crystal. So maybe I'll just tell you guys something before I go any further. In order for us to continue this trick to work, we have to make sure when we buy yellow crystal that we try to keep the price down. Because if we fucking flood the orders and bring it back up to 130, then all of a sudden this trick won't work anymore. So really it's all up to us. So anyone who's watching this, fuck, I should have maybe said at the beginning, right? No. And if you see anyone paying too much, maybe remind them, hey guys, don't try to screw up the market here. This is one of the only ways you can turn 105% shit into 150% shit. Like, I swear, sometimes I put super adhesive on auction. Let's check it again. Like, you see 167. Let's check out the actual market. I was going to say, because there's a few times that I've sold it over 200% and buying it at 104%. So that's quite the turnaround just from using the refiner tool. Like, some people might argue and say, hey, the refiner tool has decay. I'm pretty sure it didn't decay 50 ped there, right? So I don't know if anyone else has any cool secrets that they want to share. I don't know if this isn't really a glitch in the game, I hope. It's just like exploiting the market on a foreign planet where there's not too many people aware of how to make shit. Really how I found this out is because I wanted to craft it, and I'm like kind of like MacGyver where I want to make everything myself. Too narcissistic, everything always about me. Me. At least I can try to admit it. It's hard not to in our society, right? We're almost programmed to be more narcissistic than any other generation. And someone who's already naturally like that doesn't help. Now let's try some construction. What are we doing on time? Oh, I almost got to wrap this video up. Yeah, so let's do a couple clicks. I'll have to finish quick. Finishing quick is my specialty. Shirts in the link below. Alright, so let's do some bonding liquid. Wouldn't it be weird if I got a global too? I'd be like, holy shit, I just took something that was already crazy good and made it better. Don't want to jinx it. Alright. Let's trick them into thinking we're going to do all the clicks, but I'm not going to give it too many on full condition. This is fucking crazy, yo. Stop, construct. Pretty sure. Oof. It's making me nervous just looking at it. Yeah, I got a decent amount of clicks. Is what's holding me back, the sweat or the super adhesive? Oh, almost forgot. Never forget to turn globals on. I don't know if that actually matters, but you know, the little superstitions people have at the casino. Alright, time for a little vape hoot. I better not get a global on vaping or I'll end up spewing the water. That wasn't too bad. 50 peck. Alright, I think that's a little greedy. I did get one success. Let's try between the titties right off the bat. We don't got much time and I need to finish quickly. See? Even between the titties work better than full condition. Not bad. Alright, and if you don't want to go crazy on these fucking clicks, another thing you can do near success. I'll do one more. When you're between the T's and you have near success, I think it's worth going an extra minute. Ooh, 760 in a welding wire print. So that wasn't too bad. That's a nice way to finish the episode. So I'm not really fishing for globals, guys. Shit. I promised myself I would lock that screen, and I fucked it up again, but oh well. Alright everybody, hope you liked today's episode on how to make a little extra ped when you're on Cyrene. You can see that run wasn't too bad. I'm already up 7 ped, and I'm pretty sure if I kept going and crafting that to the end, I could maybe make 50. But instead of doing that, what I'm going to do for tomorrow's episode is I'll take the rest of my super adhesive, put it on auction for really expensive, and see how much I can make just from selling it without even having to craft it. How much do you want to bet that I'm going to make more? The excitement's on, right? No, and hopefully if I have some luck with all these Cyrene runs, maybe tomorrow I'll do the maze run. I'll check out to see if those green token mission things are still in the basement. Maybe they got rid of that whole thing. It'd be a shame if they did. That was one of my favorite parts of Cyrene. And I know they did make a lot of changes. So yeah, maybe if anyone wants to give me a heads up in the chat below, if you know what happened to that maze in the bottom of Cyrene, if it's still accessible, or not the maze, like some sort of PvP area that you could collect tokens. It's been over a year since I tried going in it, so I can't remember how long. Alright, thanks again everyone for watching. I know I mentioned the links before, all the swag bucks and stuff. Yeah, and don't forget, when you sign up for swag bucks, it gets you the cash back online, purchases, even for Raven Jade store. So if you haven't already signed up through swag bucks for her, I don't know if she does it, or for me, I appreciate it. And oh yeah, and I've got the patron. Oh yeah, and the shirt store, I've still only got the one shirt, but you can still find the society link for that below too. And finishing this ending quick is my specialty. Alright, yeah, and what happens? If you happen to get any super adhesive in your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, well, then give this video a dislike. But if you like the taste of super adhesive, or you like the video, then please give it a like. It really helps out the algorithm, and the way my Amico video is received in the Atari Age community, you might see a lot more dislikes coming, so I really help it if you can help balance it out. Alright, see you guys, take care. Oh yeah, and try to forget, don't abuse this little trick. If you buy yellow crystal for too high of a price, all of a sudden it stops working, so don't fight over the yellow crystal. Maybe someone can post in the chat too. Do they have a huge supply of yellow crystal they want to sell to me for cheap? I'd really like that. If you could see why. Alright, take care guys. Maybe we could even do a big auction order. That's not a bad idea, eh? Put an auction order for like 102%. See if we can get like 1,000 ped worth of yellow crystal. That'd be sweet. Alright, I've got some interesting ideas going, I think. Maybe I shouldn't be sharing with you guys, but I'm pretty sure you're enjoying it, so take care. Have a good one, everyone. Make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. See you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey, you can share it on the Entropia Discord. That would really help me. I suck at Discord. I used to use ICQ. I'll put a new playlist. Check it out.